All right, guys. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the more important parts of our syllabus and go over the calendar. Shouldn't be too long of a video, I'm hoping. So let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the syllabus. So our syllabus will live right up here for the entire semester. You can have access to it whenever you need. All you gotta do is click on it and it'll open up a Microsoft Word document. So let's go ahead and do that. Open it up and I will share that with you. All right, so you should be able to see the syllabus now. So this is WCS 240, Writing for Digital Media. You guys should already know that by now. This was one of our class times, section 3, the later class, doesn't really matter anymore. My name, Brandon Brock, I am your instructor. These are my office hours. These are my official office hours, 12 to 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Just want to note that my official office hours, if you see on our current syllabus, this is an old syllabus, is now Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 3 o'clock, or still by appointment. If possible, I would like to meet during those times. I'll keep those times free as much as I can. But I'm totally fine meeting by appointment also. What I'm going to do this semester, I'm not going to have sort of like open office hours where I'm just going to be waiting in front of my laptop, waiting for you to sign in and join me. I think that's a bit strange. So what I'm going to do is by schedule only. So if you do want to meet with me, please send me an email telling me, I'd like to meet with you on Tuesday at 2 o'clock or Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Can we schedule an appointment? And I'll say, absolutely. I will put you on my Google Calendar so I know, and I will send you a Zoom link immediately. So you can click that and we can meet on Tuesday at 2 o'clock, right? Depending on the amount of students I have that day, we might have to keep our appointments to about 15, 20 minutes. If nobody else is meeting me that day, we can talk for as long as we need, right? To get you comfortable with what it is that you're doing, right? So just because we're online doesn't mean that I am unavailable, right? I'm always available, maybe not always, right? I'm available quite a lot of the time. All you got to do is send me an email, or like I said, maybe we can figure out something on Telegram where you can reach out to me and try to schedule an appointment that way. But I'd rather keep it more sort of formal and official by going through our NU email addresses. So please email me and I will schedule you in whatever time slot works for both of us, right? There's my email address. Same as everybody else's email address, brandon.brock@nu.edu.kz. And then here's our Telegram channels. Remember, I just said that I created this for us recently, so you can search for it. I think almost everybody's already joined, almost everybody, I believe. There's if you want to search for it by its URL. And if you notice in our current syllabus, the URL is a little bit different. It just has an S2021 at the end for spring 2021. So please join that. I will be putting out announcements, upcoming events, news that is urgent, right? Rather than sending an email where it could take you a while to check it. I think you'll check Telegram quicker than you'll check email. And like I said, I'll be posting a lot of our lectures and other maybe YouTube videos that you should watch and things like that, right? So I'll communicate to you in a more sort of real-time, instant communication through Telegram. So please do join. The course overview and the course objectives, I think you can read these on your own. These are just fancy words for what we're going to be doing in the class. We're going to be putting a heavy focus on rhetoric in this course. So that's what I mentioned. That's the connection between 150 and 240, rhetoric and composition and writing for digital media. So make sure that you do brush up on your rhetoric, ethos, pathos, logos, that sort of thing, and we'll be diving further into that. Like I said, we will be developing our composition skills across media platforms. We're using different medias, multimedia, multimodal, and these sort of things to produce quality content. Like I already mentioned, our main textbook is Writer Designer, a guide to making multimodal projects. A cool, fun, easy book to read. It's written on a very sort of, not a lower level, but it's written at a sort of digital level, we'll say, right? It's made for an online audience, basically. There's a lot of references to Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and other social media, things like that. Universal Principles of Design is our second textbook that we'll be using, especially when we start getting into design. We'll go over that when we get there. And the other readings, I'll show you as they come up. I'll post them either to our Moodle or to Telegram, or they'll be in our course readings folder that I showed you. All right, so here's what the more important things that we're going to cover are. Let me try to make this a little bit bigger.
So here I'm actually going to switch over to our current, no, not yet.
Course assignments, our major assignments. We will be doing blog entries, write-ups, an infographic, a digital narrative, a public service announcement, and a reflective vlog. These will be our major assignments for the semester. The blog entries will be due throughout the semester on certain dates. You will be informed of those either through Telegram or Moodle. There will be 5 in total. Each of them are 50 points, so a total of 250 points, or 25% of your final grade. These blog posts will be multimodal or rhetorical analyses for the most part. We will read certain things for the week or for 2 weeks, and based off of the theories that we were reading, I will expect you to apply them to your own multimodal text, something that you find anywhere, right? Anywhere on the internet, anywhere in real life, if you want to take a picture of it, things like that. So you can go out and you can find short videos, you can find music videos, you can find, you can analyze memes, you can analyze digital posters or real life posters or paintings or whatever it may be, right? You're going to find your own and you're going to analyze that yourself based off of the readings that we have completed for that blog post, right? And I'll tell you all the readings that I expect to see, all the theories that I expect to see in your blog posts. But before you can ever produce a blog post, you're going to have to create a website, right? And so that's actually your first assignment. I don't grade it, but it's something that you need to do because all of these assignments are going to be published on your website. I will recommend that you use Wix to create your website, mainly because Kazakhstan has not blocked Wix yet. I've been using Wix for 2 out of the 2.5 years for this course, and it's been fine. The first semester we struggled a lot because Kazakhstan kept blocking every platform that we tried to use to create our own websites. So Wix has seemed to work the best. If you are a computer science major and you want to try your coding skills in HTML, go ahead and create your own website there. But if you run into problems, I can't really help you, right? I'm not a computer scientist, I'm not a coder. So those are things you're gonna have to figure out on your own. If you know of a better website, free website creating platform sort of thing, software, feel free to use it. But again, if you run into problems, I can't help you, right? I know Wix, I've been using Wix, I know how to create Wix, I'll give tutorials on Wix. So if you want to stick with what the class is doing, use Wix. If you want to go off and do your own thing because you're more comfortable doing something else, all the more power to you. So you'll be doing a couple blog posts that are sort of very analytical in that sense, and then you'll be doing some blog posts that are mainly peer reviews. So once we get into our major projects, the infographic, the digital narrative, and the public service announcement, all of these will have first drafts due so that you can get some feedback from your peer based off of the first draft of your infographic, the first draft of your digital narrative, and the first draft of your public service announcement. This is something that a lot of my students wished they had more of last semester, especially once we went fully online. These last 2 projects were due after we went online, and it's hard for them to get any help on the first draft. When we're online, I can't be there looking at it in the classroom and helping them with it. So I've implemented 2 more peer reviews for these 2 major projects here. So you do some peer reviewing as a blog post, and you'll do some analytical work as blog posts.
So this is where something's a little bit different this semester than previous semesters. Your peer reviews will no longer be in the form of blog posts. I'm gonna move over to our current syllabus now. They will be in the form of video peer reviews. So technically you're only gonna have 2 blog entries this semester. The first one will be due on week 2, the second one will be due on week 4. They're still gonna be worth 50 points each. So it'll be 10% of your grade in blog entries. But the other 3 blog entries that we had last semester, we're now going to turn them into video peer reviews. And so these will be due before all 3 major assignments. Once you get your first draft completed, you will have it then peer reviewed. I will give you guidelines for each peer review, things that you should be focusing on in your partner's assignment. But it'll be up to you guys you and your partner to conduct a video peer review. So I would recommend using Zoom. You guys will have a Zoom meeting on your own. You will record that Zoom meeting, and you will explain to your partner the suggested improvements that you think you can give to them based off of our readings, based off of anything that we're talking about for that assignment. So it still needs to be grounded in the research, grounded in the readings that we're doing. Your peer review, it's not just gonna, you're not just gonna have a chat with your peer and be like, yeah, that was a really cool digital narrative. I really liked it. Yeah, I thought it was great. That's not a helpful peer review. We'll get into this again more in detail once we actually get towards having the peer review. So around week 8 or week 7 or 6 for the infographic here. So make sure you take a look at our current syllabus. Just using this video as an explanation. I used it last semester. Everything else is basically the same. So let's get back to it.
5 of them in total, 50 points each. You'll also be doing some write-ups. Every major project is going to come with a write-up. So we have 3 major projects: infographic, digital narrative, public service announcement. So each of them will have write-ups. So you'll have a total of 3 write-ups worth 50 points each, also worth 15% of your final grade. The write-up is basically just going to be a 1-page explanation of your choices, right? And a sort of conscious reflection of the work that you did. So you're going to explain, especially in the infographic, you're going to explain a lot of your design choices. Right? We're going to be studying design. So I want to know why you decided to design your infographic in the way that you did. With the digital narrative, you may want to talk a little bit more about your story and how you put together your story and how you put together what camera angles you use and why you use them and things like that. So like I said, we'll go more into these once we get into the actual projects, but they will just be short 1-page write-ups. You could do it in Microsoft Word. You could do it as a blog post because you're going to be publishing these here. So I'm probably going to ask you to just kind of write it below your embedded video or the infographic on your website. The write-ups are really good because it gives you a chance to defend your work. You may be breaking certain design principles on purpose, and you want me to know about that so I don't take off points when I'm grading it. It's okay to break some rules, especially when you know what you're doing and you're doing it for a specific reason. So it gives you a chance to explain the choices that you made so that I don't take points off for it. So I have a better understanding of why or how you created the thing that you created and why you made the decisions you did. So these write-ups are more for you to defend your work to me rather than asking you to do extra work for no reason. Right? So those will be good. Those are all new things. The infographic, you'll have 1 of those and it'll be worth 10% of your grade. An infographic is basically a digital poster. It's visual representation of some sort of research. So we'll talk about it more when we get there, but an infographic can be basically anything that's representing information. Digital narrative is going to be a 2 to 5 minute video that tells a personal story, your own story of something specific. When we get to it, I'll tell you more details about what I will be expecting from that. That'll be your midterm, so to say. And the public service announcement will be your final project. It'll be due at the end of the semester. And it's basically, you will be focusing on some sort of community issue where there is a problem. And so you'll be presenting that problem. You'll be proving that that problem is something your audience should care about. You'll be presenting a solution to that problem, and you're showing your audience how they can get involved in solving that problem. So that final project has to do with a little bit of research. You need to go and really prove to yourself, prove your ethos, prove your credibility so that your audience believes in you. You're going to have to find data to support that. You're going to have to, play with your audience's emotions so they come on your side. So that public service announcement is the assignment that's most connected to 150, but it's still going to be a video assignment, a 2 to 5 minute video. So both of those videos are worth 200 points each, the midterm and the final, 20% of your grade. And the final video that you're going to put together, the final assignment you'll do for the semester, is a reflective vlog. So you'll go into the genre of vlogging. I'll show you lots of famous vloggers, give you some tips on how to create an interesting and unique vlog. But again, it'll be another 2 to 5 minute video, and it'll just be your personal evaluation or reflection of the entire semester and the course, and talking about the things you enjoyed, talking about things you disliked, talking about things that you would change or things that you wanted to do better, or explaining why you didn't do so good on a certain thing, and whatever it was, right? Talking about how quarantine has affected you, whatever it might be, right? So it's just a reflective vlog, no research involved, just you talking about the semester, right? And that's worth another 100 points or 10%. So these are our major assignments for the semester. This is why I said there will be a lot of work, right? You have 5 blog entries, 3 write-ups, 3 major projects, and a reflective vlog. So there will be consistent work throughout the semester. If you have questions about these, you can always email me, or just wait until we get to that point in the semester and I'll give you a lot more details. All of these assignments will have very detailed guidelines and detailed rubrics to show you what you're going to be graded on. So when we get there, we can talk about it. Course policies, I'm just going to go over a couple of these. Participation is a little bit different now that we're fully online. Basically for participation, I expect you to be watching all of my videos that I'm recording for you. I expect you to complete all of the readings. If you fail to complete some of the readings, it will be obvious in the work that you compose, especially in your blog posts, because I'll be asking you to reference all of these readings in your blog posts. So if you don't do that, I know that you're not reading, right? If you don't know what you're talking about in your blog post, I know that you're not reading the material. So to be prepared, I expect you to watch all the videos, watch all the links that I send you, and complete all the readings. We will be doing some group work. Like I said, it won't be dependent on a grade, but there will be some group work. So be respectful to your colleagues. Treat people online as if you would face-to-face, right? We don't want to be trolls in this class. Don't be an asshole to everybody, right? Just be a human being, be normal. Respect people's ideas, comment on people's ideas, things like that. Late assignments, this is something a bit important. Most of my deadlines will be on Sunday night at 11:30 p.m. For the most part, I'd like to keep it that way. If we need to readjust, we can. I'm okay with that. And then
this semester, I'm actually going to try to have things due Saturday at 11:30 p.m., as you'll see on our calendar.
And I accept late work up to 3 days after that, right? But with a penalty every day. So the assignment is due is at 11:30 p.m. on Sunday, at 11:31 p.m. on Sunday till 11:30 p.m. on Monday. That first day, it's a 10% deduction. The second day is a 20% deduction. The third day is a 30% deduction. And after that, what is it, 72 hours? No. 24, yeah, after 72 hours, you'll automatically receive a 0 for that assignment. So I give you 72 hours to submit it late, right? It's always better to submit assignments late rather than not at all. And if they're not complete, it's always better to submit them late. But after 72 hours, it will be a 0. Electronic resources, like I said, this is going to be very important. You're expected to regularly check your emails. You're expected to regularly check Moodle. You're expected to regularly check not Instagram. I mean, you can check Instagram regularly. You're going to do that anyway, right? But regularly check Telegram for any updates that I have to give you. Academic misconduct. So this is something we do need to talk about a little bit. What I have here in the syllabus just comes directly from the Student Code of Conduct handbook about plagiarism, assisted plagiarism, and penalties for plagiarism. Basically, the penalty for plagiarism, the minimum penalty for plagiarism is a 0 with no chance for revision. It's just an automatic 0. But it can go up to as high as you getting expelled from the university, right? The penalties for plagiarism can range all the way from a 0 from that assignment to failing the course, to being put on probation, to being expelled from the university, depending on the level of plagiarism that you've committed. So obviously don't plagiarize. It's probably something you're going to hear in all of your classes all this week, right? But for my class in particular, it does get a little bit strange because you will be publishing all of your assignments on your own website, which I want because you are technically building your own digital portfolio. So one day, if you go out into the world and you want to prove your camera skills or your video editing skills, you'll have your own website with some of your videos and your blog posts already uploaded to that website that you can show people of the skills that you learn, skills that you have, and hopefully you can grow that portfolio after the semester's over, right? Hopefully you'll continue to keep making videos and creating content. That's the whole point of this course. But in that sense, there is a different type of plagiarism that is involved in this class. And it has affected a lot of students in the past 2.5 years. And that is submitting a link to me on Moodle for an assignment that you are supposed to complete and having it due on time on Moodle, but nothing actually being on your website, right? So technically you're submitting a blank link to me. And if you do that, that is considered plagiarism and you'll automatically receive a 0 as soon as you submit that, right? At 11:30 p.m. on Sunday nights, I am there in front of Moodle waiting for everybody to submit, and I go and check your websites immediately. If I see that you have submitted a blank link to me, nothing on your website, or you've submitted a broken link, or you've submitted some sort of corrupted link, whatever it might be, that's not my fault. That is your fault. You automatically receive a 0, right? That is you trying to get extra time for an assignment that you're supposed to complete days ago, right? So in that sense, you will receive 0s for your assignment. So this is why I say it's better to submit an assignment late, right? If you don't finish creating a blog post by 11:30 p.m. on Sunday, don't submit a link to me for a half-finished blog post. I will grade it right there and right then, and you will receive that amount of points for it, right? Don't submit a blank page to me. You'll automatically receive a blank grade, right? One of those, that big blank thing, that 0 right there. Wait until you are done. Wait until you finished your blog post, it's finalized, then submit a link to me on Moodle, right? You have up to 72 hours before I stop accepting them, which I think is fairly generous. So I have to put it out there. Don't submit broken links. Don't submit blank links. Don't submit corrupted links. They will hurt your grades, right? 5% is each blog post. 5% seems like it may not hurt that much in the beginning, but come to the end, that could be the huge difference between a B- and a C+, so to say, right? So that's what we have to talk about in plagiarism. Otherwise, the assignments that you're going to be completing are very personalized to you, and so you will be represented in all of these, and so they will be yours, right? It's kind of hard to copy at that point. And the last thing is just the grading descriptors. These come directly from from the university. I haven't changed them at all. So the normal thing, 100 to 90A and all the way down. You can look at that on your own. All right, if you have questions about the syllabus, obviously you can email me and we can talk about them. Next thing I want to show you though is our calendar.
And so here we're going to switch over to our actual calendar for the semester. Let's do this and this. All right, so our calendar will live right here at the top of our Moodle, all semester long. So you always have access to it. It is a Google Doc, so it might change. That's what this word tentative means right here. Basically means the dates that are set on here are set for a reason, but there is room for them to change and room for them to move. So let's just take a look at it real quick. Some important things to note: the drop deadline for the class is January 20th, coming up here pretty soon. The add deadline is a couple days after that, the 20th. And the withdrawal period to get a W on your transcript rather than an F would be between January 25th and March 3rd. So not too long after the drop deadline. So seriously consider the workload. As you can see on our calendar, there's a lot to do here. Seriously think about if you want to be in this class, if this is a class that is going to benefit you in some way, if you're going to enjoy being in this class, and most importantly, if you can handle the workload for this class. So as you can see, it's broken down into weeks, pretty basic. Right here is where we're at, introductions and syllabus. You have one chapter to read from our language and learning book, just chapter 1. It's basically an introductory chapter of what digital media is, and kind of why it's important and why it's something that we feel we should start studying now, right? So that's what you need to read for this week, language and learning chapter 1. And your introduction videos are going to be due this week, Thursday at 6 p.m. I talked about that in that other video, so you should know what you should be able to do there. It's also on our Moodle, you can see it. But basically every week is broken down that way, the topic we're going to be covering, the readings that you have for that week. More or less, I put it together as if we were meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So for Tuesday's class, you need to read Writer Designer Chapter 1 and Language and Learning Chapter 3. And then for Thursday's class, you would read Writer Designer Chapter 2 and Language and Learning Chapter 4. Since we're not actually meeting in person, these are basically the readings you need to complete for the week. So I expect them all to be read by, I would say, Thursday. And make sure that you're watching any of the videos that I'm uploading to Telegram or Moodle. They'll both be on Telegram and Moodle. So right there in the second week, you already have your first blog post due. And like I mentioned, you need to have a Wix page built before you can actually create the blog post. So this is what you have due first, your introduction video. But shortly after that, you really need to start working on your Wix page. And I'll give you some Wix tutorials as well if you've never used a online website creating platform. So that's coming up right here in week 2. Then the rest of them are all laid out basically the same. Topic we're going to be covering, the readings for the week, topic we're going to be covering, readings for the week, whatever might be due that week, and so on and so forth. So you can tell in the beginning here, there's not a lot due, right? We've got a blog post 1, we've got a blog post 2, and then we're going to start working on our infographic. But after the infographics due, there's basically something due every week until the end of the semester. So again, seriously consider, is this a class that you want to take? Is this a class you're going to benefit from? And can you handle the workload? There is a lot of work to complete for this class. So that's basically where I want to end this video. Obviously, again, if you have questions about any of this, you can email me. We'll get into more details about everything once we actually get to those assignments. So otherwise, this is all I'm going to be uploading for the week. So enjoy your first week of classes, enjoy the first week back of the semester, enjoy the frozen tundra of wherever you are in Kazakhstan. And I will sort of see you guys next week. So enjoy your weekend, enjoy your first week of classes, and we'll get right into it next week.